Hi all, in this video I'm going to read my favorite bit from the book If We Ever Meet Again. This time I chose two pieces that fit together since I really couldn't choose. I hope you guys are as excited as I am about these pieces. The piece I'm going to read is about how much Blake regrets his actions. So here we go. What time is your flight tomorrow? Small talk wouldn't wipe that look off her face, the one that said she thought he was lower than the scum on the bottom of her shoe. But he was desperate to hear her voice. 10 in the morning. Farah glanced over her shoulder towards the ballroom. You? 8. At night. I'm one of the last ones out. There was a beat of silence. Well, Farah stepped towards the door. Have a safe flight. Wait. Blake didn't know what made him do it. Maybe it was the fresh air or the fact that it was their last night together. Maybe it was a last-ditch attempt to reclaim the magic of love lost. If only for a moment. Whatever it was, it made him close the gap between them until they were only inches apart. I need to tell you something. Farah stared up at him, her eyes liquid in the moonlight, her face unscrutable. Blake reached for her before he thought twice and dropped his arm. I'm sorry. For what? For everything, for more than you can know. I never meant to hurt you. I was a jerk when I broke up with you, and I'm sorry. He was repeating himself from the plane, but damn it, he needed her to know. You were more of a jerk when you cheated on your girlfriend. Blake flinched. You deserved that. Didn't mean it hurt like a bitch. I have something to tell you too. Farah's voice was as smooth as cool as glass. Thank you. You must have heard her wrong. Excuse me? You're right. You are an asshole. I didn't say I'm an asshole. But you taught me some important lessons. One day I'll find the person I can trust more than anyone else because you showed me everything I shouldn't look for. Blake's heart wrenched. It'd be so easy, right there and when he and Farah were the only people in the world. It'd be so easy to tell her the truth. It wouldn't set things right. He cheated on her, even if he didn't remember doing it. But at least she'd know. Everything he did, everything he told her was true. She was the love of his life. Then he remembered the look on Cleo's face when she told him she was pregnant. His family's reaction. The folder of parroting ebooks on his computer. How his mom was already picking out color swatches from the nursery. He remembered all the reasons Farah couldn't know the truth, and so he said the words that scrapped his throat raw when he forced them out. I hope you find him. Farah's nostrils flared. For a split second her stony mask cracked, and he saw the hurt in her eyes. His heart wrenched again. Farah turned and walked into the ballroom without another word. All Blake could do was watch her leave. There was nothing left to say except the 3 words he could never say to her again. I love you. This was the first piece. I am now skipping several pages where Farah and Blake say their last goodbye. One day, Farah would find someone who would make what she had with Blake pale in comparison, and maybe she'd forget about the blue-eyed boy in front of her. But Blake would always be her first love, and for that she could never hate him, no matter how much she wanted to. I'm sorry. Blake's stony expression cracked. His eyes shone with regret, sadness, and something Farah couldn't identify. For everything. I know. They stared at each other for the last time. The air between them was heavy with broken promises and unspoken words, but their time had run out. Not everyone gets a happy ending, and not all loose ends get tied up in real life. The only thing they could take with them were memories. Do they actually work for you? Excuse me? Your cheesy pickup lines, do they actually work for you? Thank you for trusting me enough to tell me about your dad. I think you drive me crazier than any person out to. And I think I might die if I can't be with you. You will never lose me. I will always love you. Always. Farah smiled, a sad smile. It had been good while it lasted. Goodbye. She closed the cab door and settled into her seat. She kept her eyes forward as the driver pulled out of the courtyard. They didn't make it to the main street before the skies opened up and droplets of water splattered against the windows like crystal tears. Farah leaned her head against the glass. She could just make out the buildings that defined Shanghai's skyline through the rain. The Pearl Tower, the Jinmeo Tower, the World Financial Tower. It had been a morning of heart-wrenching farewells. But now she had to say the hardest goodbye of all. To Shanghai and to the person she was there. In this place and time, knowing she'll never be this way again. Goodbye, Shanghai, until we meet again. The cab peeled out of the courtyard, taking with it tattered remains of Blake's heart. His jaw clenched so tight he thought his teeth would crack. It took all his willpower not to fall to his knees in front of Farah and beg her for forgiveness. The hug was bad enough. He shouldn't have done it, but what choice did he have? He couldn't let her leave Shanghai without something. Blake wished he could take back everything what happened since winter break. He wished he could give Farah promises of future visits and emails and phone calls, of more tangible ways to stay connected beyond shared memories and regrets. He couldn't, so he gave her the only thing in his power to give: apologies and a last embrace. Blake ducked his head, plucked his earphones, and resumed his walk to the gym. The farther he walked from the dorm, the easier it was to tuck the past year's memories in a safe drawer near his heart. He didn't have the luxury of dwelling on the past. He had a family and an ex-girlfriend he needed to face in less than 48 hours. He had a baby on the way and a lot of shit he needed to figure out. But the memories would always be there for him to draw upon when he needed them. The last image, that of Farah's face right before she left, slipped inside, and Blake closed the drawer with a firm push. It broke his heart, but he couldn't deny it any longer. This chapter of their lives was over.